Shane here again. Yeah, start time. I just wanted to actually say on behalf of the iMoot team, just wanted to thank Guido for presenting today and welcome everybody here. And I know Guido's been, I've seen you in some of the developer sessions, so I know you're very much involved with development and so on. So looking forward to seeing the session, and thanks once again for giving your time up to present today. Hand over to you. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. If you like, we could switch on the microphones if we are only 4 people. So if you want to ask something, everybody can just interrupt me and ask. Also by microphone, maybe I have to switch it on. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, if you are interested in the translation, we start with translation. If you like to see the video first, we can start with the video plugin. But Jean already told me that he wants to know more about the translation. Is that right? And how about David? What is your interest? They put my sessions into one slot, so I have to do both in 1 hour. Hello, David. I can see you. I can't hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Great. Thank you. Yes, no, I'm happy to hear both. I'm here for both. Bonjour, Jean-Marc.
Bonjour. Okay, so we start. Yeah, I'm not really a developer. I'm more an LMS consultant, and because of the copyright of Moodle, I'm not allowed to say I'm a ... consultant. And yeah, so I prepared the very quick access to the knowledge, and you can get the walkthrough how to use the tool here with this package. Later I will tell where I got it from. It's not from me. I did one in German. Yeah, maybe Shane, right. That's it. Thank you. Okay. And if you wanted the same speech in German, there's a course on my own Moodle, one of my Moodle platforms. But for today, I prepared the long version. Why do I do that? Because I had to translate a very long quiz, many long quizzes from German to English and from English to German. And the quiz user interface is really slow if you have to open every question, translating it and close it again. And if you want to check it, if you have double translation, you have to open every sentence and there's no help from the user interface. And the third reason why I was looking for a translation help, because I am lazy. And it needed a better way than clicking through the Moodle interface. Have you already tried to translate quizzes? Because I want to know, maybe you have found a way to do it quickly.
Google Translator, that's all I've used.
Yeah, that's one possibility, but it's not inside of the user interface. It could be implemented inside, but it's not just maybe with Atto we get a button translate, but maybe there is some plugin for the editor, but not in the moment. Okay, in Moodle there are some possibilities to provide multi-language content. there's this language tag. There's a possibility to have one activity per language. Just copy the activities, so you have two lists of activities. Or you can do one course for language 1, one course for language 2, and language 3. And for me, this is in many it's very often, sorry for my English, it's very often it's the best solution, because usually you have different user groups. You have the English speaking users and you have the German speaking users or French speaking users. So why should they be bothered with multi-language content? But sometimes you have a small course, maybe some experimental, you don't know which people will come, and it's not everything translated, so you start with English and add some in your language. Then maybe these mixed courses are good. And then there are some pages in Moodle you need the multi-language content, like the start page. There's only one start page, and if you want to give many languages the possibility to be there, then you need the tags inside. Yeah, how to translate. So you said already you use Google Translator. Do you use the API or do you use the just the website?
Just the website for me.
Just the website, okay.
Oh, hello. I use HTML Moodle filter for translate.
Oh, I don't know that.
I use what you. Oh, sorry, fine. The Moodle filter multilanguage setting. Hello.
Okay. Yes, I heard you.
That with Moodle with Google, no Moodle, Google Translation.
Google Translation also.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's what we all do. We do the manual translation mainly, but there's also a possibility if you have a huge amount and you are in a commercial area, you can also ask an agency to translate, but then they will say, oh, we cannot translate inside of Moodle. Please send us some kind of data we have to translate, and then you can use some XML export from Moodle. And sorry. I get some noise from you if you don't talk. Maybe I switch you off and the sound becomes better for everybody. Okay, so there is some automated or semi-machine translation, and there's an XML standard called XLIF, which can be used to translate. And this is what I will present in more detail now, how to do that. The problem with manually translation is it needs a lot of time. If you ask an agency, it doesn't get much quicker because the response time of the agency can be long and it costs money. And if you use XLIF, you risk your mental health maybe because you have to install so many software. And you have to learn 2 software environments additionally to Moodle. First, you have to export XML. And there are 2 activities in Moodle that can export XML. Do you know which one you can export? It's the quiz. You can export questions. And you can export the glossary, also an XML export. And From this XML export on your computer, you have to create an XLIF file. And this XLIF file can be used inside of an translating software. After translation, you have to convert this XLIF file back into the original XML and then import this to Moodle. And the software to use is the Okapi Rainbow. And it's really a new world that opened to me when I discovered this XML software. Before I heard about XML and I was not really, to be honest, I didn't understand what is so good to have an XML export in Moodle. But the very good thing is that it's really standard and it can be used by other tools like Okapi. And you export this XLF and you can use a very professional but still open source and free tool. It's called Omega T. There are other tools, but I found this one is very convenient and I can really recommend it to look at it. It's worth to spend some time, even if you don't use the XML translating chain here. Omega T will provide you with a translation database, so you will never again have to translate the same sentence again. Does anybody work with Omega T already? Have you read this word before? Okay, thank you for your responses. The Okapi Rainbow is the same. So it will remember how your Moodle XML look like. And I prepared some model here. I think this is your question file, which is exported from. When you see my video, and inside of your question file, there's content. Okay, like this. That's the XML document from inside. And this Okapi Rainbow gives you the opportunity to take out all the content and get another XML. Okay, I'm cheating. I use the same, but just for illustration. You get another XML, put in the content, but maybe it's a little bit different. You take out the pictures, or you doesn't need all of the XML content, only the relevant part. And with this XML, that's the XLF file now. Text is wrong now. With this XLF, you go to Omega T, and Omega T can help you to exchange, use mirrored, exchange all the single items inside of your XML file. Then, after translating, you go back to Omega T, put back the new content in your old XML file, and upload this to Moodle again. Okay, you can use the quiz. Yeah, thank you for the applause for my egg model for XML, but you can use export of XML in quizzes, glossaries, and the EXE can also export XML. And maybe there will be more XML export in the future, or there are some plugins for exporting. Yeah, next slide. What do you have to do on your computer? I recommend first think about updating your Java environment. You need, if you don't like to install Java, that's the end of the presentation for you, because you can't use Okapi or Omega T without Java. If you have already installed Java because of your browser, then you have to install, maybe for Firefox, you have installed Java, but this is not enough because Okapi and Omega T, they come if you are on a 64-bit system. If you are a 32-bit system, maybe the Java is already okay, but if this Okapi and Omega T is 64-bit applications and you have to install an additional Java runtime environment in 64-bit. Yes, I said it now 6 times, that's enough. Second, you have to download Okapi installer and the Omega T installer. And later, when Omega T is running, you can get an API from Google and use the machine translation inside of Google. Maybe database module also uses XML. Fine, good to know. So the next step is you will find all the links in the course. There's the Okapi download, Omega T download, the Java download, and again, I will not try to to demonstrate all the steps how to do it here. I followed some of these hands-on sessions in the iMoot, and I find the desktop sharing is not well enough to get into the details. And to be honest, I haven't done it for a long time now. But every step is explained in this file. And another one in German also here if you want to train your German a little bit. Okay. Let me look at the next slide, because all this knowledge is not my own knowledge. It was there on the, I found it in Moodle.org in the forums. And I put the original conversation link here. And the SCORM module was made by this guy here, Merxte. He is Spanish, or not Spanish, but Catalan maybe. And there's a lot of translation in the Spanish world, from Catalan to Spanish and back. And it's gone on his website. So I'm happy that I have copied it. And I asked when I copied it 2 years ago. And the start was on a Spanish Moodle, and so there's not so much English documentation about this process. And no, I was the first who translated it to German, so I'm more a knowledge transporter than a knowledge creator in this area. If you like the handmade pictures, check out Bicablo. It will show you how to make them for your trainings and the flip chart. Very easy to draw. So I'm finished here with the first part of the slot with the translation. Any questions? Any hints for me? And maybe we open the microphones. I'm not sure if this will work, but the opportunity should be there. Okay, there will be the second part with the video, but if there are any question about translating, you have to do it by yourself, step by step. It's complex. To understand the user interface of Rainbow Okapi is not so easy, but there are all steps explained in the SCORM module.
That looks very clear. I'll just have to go in and try it now to find
Yeah, I
out.
think that. And even if I would show it, you have to try it by yourself because it's yeah, it's documented enough. Now is the chance to ask things, but I think it was because of my presentation eggs, it was really clear. I continue with the video thing. And I think I uploaded it already, yes. Here we are. Yeah, 2 years ago. Thank you. Oh, French people write German. This is really a thank you, I think. Okay, 2 years ago, I had a prospect and he came to me and he said, I have so many videos and my old learning management system doesn't help me. They don't allow me to upload videos anymore because I have too many. Can you help me? And he wanted to teach people who do part-time jobs in dry cleaning offices. Do you remember these dry cleaning? I have never. No, I used to bring my suit for when I was employed. I had a suit, a necktie, and I had to clean it sometimes. And they have to know about environmental law and how to use all the chemicals and that, and how to treat customers. And this guy was teaching for more than 30 years to always the same people. And he had done this for the last 5 years, always in front of a camera. When he was in the classroom, he was recording everything. And now he is at home. He retired and now he's cutting all the videos, and every week a new video pops up, and he does not trust YouTube. He don't want to have these videos public. He wants people to pay for it. And he asked me to set up a learning management system, for example, Moodle, to use it. And so, yeah, that's what I said already. He wanted to have this business environment for his videos. Yeah, and so how to solve this? And I want you to add some requirements in the chat, which maybe apply to a business environment where you want to protect your videos. What is important, do you think? Thank you, Lindy. Privacy, yes, you don't want to have the link tomorrow on another web page. That's right. But that's not the only thing. There are no private YouTube channels. I think it's private means you are the only one. You can share the link, but then anybody can share the link. Yeah, you want streaming, of course. You don't want them to download. The Moodle server is not the right place. Yeah, unlisted YouTube is okay, but if someone sends a link, you always, from a YouTube video, you always go into a YouTube. Yes, watermark, that's important. It can be done with YouTube, but storage size is a thing. If you have a Moodle hosting, you don't want to have all the gigabyte of videos there. And if 3 people start watching the video, nobody else maybe will get another Apache session. Yeah, Vimeo is an option, but it wasn't an option in 2012. And if I would start this now, I would start with Vimeo. It costs something, but it starts the videos very, very slowly. If you have some experience with Vimeo, sometimes you wait more than 8 seconds until an HD video starts. And yeah, I don't know if this is the best solution, but it's one solution which is okay. I have some numbers for Vimeo later on. Okay, this is what we were talking about. First, the idea was we need a free solution. It needs to be hidden and unshareable, means safe. Mass use, so if 20 people start streaming at the same time, you want to deliver, and the usage rights of this service needs to be okay. So maybe I don't want to put my videos on Facebook, and maybe in Google, you always allow partners to use the content. And I don't know all the partners of Google. And yeah, that's also one reason. So YouTube was not an option. It is not safe enough, and it's not the rights, the usage rights of the Google YouTube service are not okay for this business. And with Vimeo, we were not sure because it was very difficult to discover from their law texts. And then I discovered there are many services, but most of them are really closed. So there were some other requirements. First, to make this more actual with Vimeo, there is a possibility to nail the videos to one IP for the link. And I haven't tested it. I cannot say if it is really safe, but I know it isn't free. You have to pay something for Vimeo. At that time, there was a service called Bits on the Run. And it was the same. Company as the well-known JW player. So with this service, we had a perfect player on the one side, the JW player, and we had a very, very good API. And that later we wanted to have customizable players. That's also possible with Vimeo, and playlists. But in 2012, there was no playlist in the pro version of Vimeo. And with Bits on the Run, it was possible. And the multi-transcode service, that's nearly all video services provide this multi-transcode. You upload your MP4, for example, and they will transcode for all the different HTML5 and Flash layer systems. And we wanted an API because we had to integrate this into Moodle. Okay, so the decision was we use Bits on the Run. Other services had the same pricing, but they had no API, and we wanted to integrate this. And there is a free plan to start with, so it was very easy to test it. And 2 years ago, HTML5 was more science fiction, and they already supported HTML5 on Android phone, and I was very satisfied with the solution. Now they have a mobile app for uploading. Yeah, it's not free. You can still get an account for 5 videos for testing. It's not time limited. It's limited to 5 videos. And I think they have a limited streaming amount, but there's no, when you register for the JW Player, you have the possibility to upload 5 videos, and I was not able to find out if this is the same as for registering through JW platform. I think if you're really interested, the easiest is to contact Faisal at jwplayer.com. He is responsible for the business development. And there's also a reseller plan. So for example, if some Moodle partner wants to satisfy customers, maybe this is an opportunity, I'm not sure. When I started, there was a very easy registration, and they advertised it as a cheap solution for everybody. Now they have more. A big. It sounds more like we are looking for big business partners. Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing advertising for them and hating JW Player because it's getting more and more expensive. But on the other hand, it's really very reliable, and the good API helped a lot. Yeah, I don't want to sell it to Moodle partners if you mean that, but I'm not really selling it. There's also the pricing, and compared to Vimeo is really cheap and has already the same. Yeah, if you have a lot of content, it's getting more expensive. But if you have a lot of customers bringing the content, then it's okay. But yeah, difficult. Okay, what we needed was a plugin, and that is something I want to talk about. How to use this plugin for the 5 free videos, for example. Maybe every teacher wants to have 5 free videos there. And the idea was just write video and player into the text somewhere, and then the filter will replace it with a temporary and secure encoded link. And finally, I was able to upload the Water plugin to the Moodle plugin database. And it's also on GitHub if you want to help or just make your own development based on it. You can do it with GitHub. When you have installed the plugin, which is like every other plugin, you have to add your API key, which you get from Bits on the Run. It's now called JW Platform, not anymore Bits on the Run. You also get an API secret. For every filter, or the other way around, in the platform, you can only share one account of JW Platform with my plugin. But when you rename the plugin, then you can add other accounts to the same Moodle. Then you have to tell how long will this link be available, and it degrades after 10 minutes in the standard setting. Then you can mask the DNS. So when someone looks into the link, he will not find JW Player, he will find your own domain. My domain name is actxc, so I put it into the plugin here. And then the players they have a name, 8 characters, and the standard player, which you can define at the JW platform, the standard player can be also in this filter setup. So if you do not add a player name, this player will be used during the video playing. Of course, don't forget to activate the filter in your classroom or on the page. You have the full service from filter in Moodle. And inside of any text, you just have to write das heißt eckige Klammer, the brackets, then BOTR for bits on the run, which is outdated. This company name doesn't exist anymore. And then the tag for the video ID. Or if you want a special player, you can also add the player ID. Question is, where do you get this from? And oh, wait. It shows up after you save and call the page. It shows up with a static picture. You can modify, you can upload. And when you press play, the link is used. So it can happen that if you write only 2 minutes until link decay, then someone opens the page and after 2 minutes you press play and the video says you are not allowed to watch. If you have 10 minutes, maybe that's better for your use. You can also say 48 hours until the link degrades. If you reload the page, you get new and fresh links that will work. Yeah, where do you get the video ID from? It's on the account at JW Platform, or if you want an account from my company, you always have to look at the platform where you store the video. And because this is boring, I decided to make another development, and I developed a Moodle repository for bits on the run videos. And this will also show the thumbnails. You can add thumbnails to every video. And I also decided to have my own user interface for uploading videos, adding the metadata. This is not public because the code is my JavaScript coding is very experimental, and I don't want to offer this to someone who really knows what he does. Maybe I need some help on this. If you want to look at it, we can talk about, but it's nothing to put on GitHub, I think. But it's very pragmatic, straightforward. You can edit the metadata and tags. You can upload. Sorry, it's in German. Standard upload. And after uploading, you see all the metadata which are generated. And there's also the tag, which can be used then for the player filter system. Okay, that's a summary. And I have to say, JW hosting can be used in Moodle. I think it's expensive. The Botter plugin is available in the Moodle database. It says it works for 2.4, but I'm still using it at 2.6 without any modification. There's a repository. It's not in the Moodle database, but it's available on GitHub. And for video upload and maintenance, there is a JW platform or my alpha system with Act Cinema. And you can share one JW account using an owner tag. It's hidden inside of the Act Cinema software so that you share one JW account with many other people if you like. So you decide who you want to share it with, and they don't see each other. You only have your own videos in one JW account. Yeah, and the player design, it was not possible in the beginning to modify it from outside, but now there's a JW XML and you can define a player to upload. No, I just want to say thank you. Some people stayed until the end, and there's now the possibility to ask questions or give me some feedback for my presentation.
What?
Actually, that's probably.
Me too. Just waiting for any questions. Just I'll jump in and say thank you once again. Thanks for presenting on the Open University.
Yeah. Yeah. So did we, and we didn't get half the stuff that was on there, but it didn't matter because there was silly stuff in between, and you'd watch that. Yeah.
Okay, be careful. I unmuted the microphones to give you the possibility to speak, but it's a little bit like NSA, so I can listen to everybody.
No.
Yeah, I think I will investigate more into Vimeo. And I think the Vimeo Pro account is okay. On the other hand, if you have no videos in the Vimeo Pro account, you still have to pay. If there's only one video and nobody is watching it, you have to pay the $156 every year. If there's no video in the JW platform, you don't have to pay. You only pay for use and storage. If you have 1 gigabyte stored there and nobody is watching it, you still have to pay for the storage. And maybe there's also a problem with the Vimeo. I don't know. I haven't investigated it. But if you stop using it, the videos will disappear. And I'm not sure if you are able to download everything via the API. But with the JW platform, you can write this very tiny PHP script to download every video and decide what to do with it. And you also can download the coded versions. Yeah, it depends very much on the scenario you are working with. I'm also hosting lots of videos on YouTube because if I want to share them with other people, if it is more in advertising, YouTube is also a good alternative. If you are happy when someone else shares the link, why not? If it is just education, why not sharing everything in YouTube? I think there's no problem with it. Yeah, sometimes inside of a corporate environment, you have not the rights to publish it because you maybe use something which is allowed inside of the company, but it's not allowed outside of the company, not because of intellectual properties, more because of the licenses. And then YouTube is not the right place.
I sometimes use Screencast-O-Matic, and I believe that you can make those private.
Okay. Would you like to paste a link here because maybe others are interested? Or there's also a forum in the course.
Sure, just
maybe there's
just
some
give me a
other
moment
video
to paste
experience.
that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, when I started to develop the filter, which was my first development experience for Moodle, I was really excited about the good documentation for the filter module. but for the repository, it was really a mess. And I was not able to understand the repository. I just copied the YouTube repository, and there's, at that time, maybe it changed, but at that time there was not a lot of documentation for the repository plugin. I hope this is better now. Thank you for Screencast-O-Matic. Okay, this is very interesting if you want to share screencasts, I guess. You can record from the website without downloading plugins. Is that right, David?
That's right. You can upload it. They've got a streaming server there. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll use it to record a video. I use it for a lot of video, but I'm sure you can use it in very flexible ways. It's very inexpensive. It's $15 US a year for that site.
Yeah, it's really a good alternative. Yeah, thank you for watching and listening. I hope this was the thing you came for. And I don't have anything to add. We could experiment a little bit with no, I'm not convinced. I think we stop here and see other sessions or get some breakfast.
Hey Guido, it's Shane here. Just wanted to, on behalf of the iMoot team, just to thank you for sharing today. It generates some discussion in the chat as well. It's awesome.
Yeah.